What is up, everybody? Welcome to another video on my channel, and today I got another easy one for you. So I'm gonna be doing rear brakes on a 2015 Toyota Tundra. So I know I've done brakes before on my channel, but you know what, it kind of depends on the individual. Some people need, assistance, or just, don't have experience, or just need to know, how something gets done on a specific vehicle, and that's cool. So that is kind of what this is. I will be showing you guys, just what to do. It should be pretty easy. I mean, I kind of took a look at it already. I mean, I had to take the wheel off and everything just to diagnose, or not diagnose, nothing wrong with them, but just to figure out which ones, which brake pads need to be replaced. So without further ado, we're going to get into this. We're just going to do the rear brakes on this. Should be nice and easy. We're not going to turn the rotors. They look in very good condition. There is a little bit of, hot spotting, but it's nothing too terrible. So we're just going to do a pad slap on it. So let's go ahead and let's get this done. Alright, so I have the wheel taken off. So the lug nuts are actually 22 millimeter. It's a little bit of an odd size. Most of them tend to be 19 or 21 millimeter, but if you have the socket, no big deal. It's not like it's any harder. But anyways, that's that. So over here you have the rear brake caliper, and there's two different ways to essentially compress the piston. So one way is the appropriate way is to actually use this tool right here. So this end right here, oh sorry about that, this end right there will actually sit against the actual brake caliper piston, and this end over here, this bottom piece, will end up touching on the opposite end of the caliper. So that'll help, compress your brake piston in, and that's how you get that done. The other way, and it's not as recommended, I mean, it's a possibility you can break a tool, but a handy dandy pry bar or screwdriver. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to sacrifice this screwdriver. I'm going to stick it here in between, and you want to stick it in between the brake rotor and, oh, that was too long, dang. Okay, hold on, let's redo this. Alright, now with the shorter screwdriver, so essentially, you want to stick it in between the brake pad and the brake rotor. You don't want to scratch the brake rotor, but you just want to create a little bit of space. I might not be able to do this while holding the camera, but I'll show you guys in a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and get it done real quick, and then I'll show you guys what it was that I did, and then, you can go from there, and you can choose whatever method you want, but, alright. Alright, so there's two 17 millimeter bolts up top. As you can see, I've already gotten them loose. There's one right there, one down here. I'm just going to continue to unscrew these. This is the second one. Okay, and then one thing that you got to know about these is that these also work as a slide for your caliper. So essentially what happens as your brakes go in and out, that smoothing piece right there should be greased. So essentially what you want to do is you want to grease it, and as your brakes wear, or as you apply the brakes, your brake caliper is gonna slide on this smooth portion right here. That's why you want to make sure it's greased correctly. If it's not, you may experience some, how should you say that, some sticking. So what's gonna happen is that your brakes might actually end up wearing unevenly. So these are the brakes right here. That's the brake pad. As you can see, there's maybe no more than like 2 millimeters, but it's time to replace these. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. We're going to take our brake pads off. Depending on where you get your brakes, there is some hardware right here, these metal clips. Oops. These metal clips right here, and essentially they just go into actual grooves. So you'll just pop them in, pop them out, and that's about it. So you'll have some on all four corners of the caliper. So 1, 2, 3 over here, and then 4 over there. You'll replace those, put the brake pads on. Make sure that you lube up your guides here before tightening them back up. So let's go ahead and let's continue. I'll show you how that's done. Go. Alright, so I have my new brake pads. They have been installed. I installed the top bolt, but as you can see, so this is an example of the slide pin right there. So the brake pads that I got actually came with grease. So you want to put a very generous amount of grease on them, because remember, your brake caliper is going to be sliding on it. So now all we're going to do is we're going to slide that into place, start screwing it in, then we're going to tighten it up, put the wheel back on, and then we're going to start on the other side. So it's really as simple as that. I'll show you how I do the other side as well, just just in case you need any added reference. So let's continue on with this, and let's get this side bolted up and finished. Alright guys, so I'm on the second side, so I wanted to show you one more time what I do with this screwdriver. Normally you want to try and use a pry bar. Sometimes the ends of the pry bars are a little thick, so it's a little hard to do, but essentially what you do, I got a screwdriver, and you got to trust your screwdriver on this. So hopefully you can see this. Stick my screwdriver over here. Essentially it's hitting the back of the brake pad, and hopefully you can see it, but there's where the piston's being compressed in. You don't want to damage the rotor. That's why you want to make sure you're on the back of the brake pad. And then you push it all the way in, and now it's compressed. That's the easy way to compress a piston, our brake piston. So as you can see over here, now we got space. This thing's free to move, and that's the reason why you lube these little guide pins too. So your brake caliper, you know, as your brakes are wearing down or as you're applying them, they move back and forward or back and forth freely. That's why you want to make sure they're lubed. So I think that's gonna be it for this video. I showed you guys how to just replace the pads. Just remember, you know, two 17mm bolts over here, one on top, one on bottom. Lug nuts are 22mm, and it's as simple as that. You just pop the old brake pads out, put the new brake pads in, and that is it. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was educational for some of you. You know, if you're not confident enough to go do it yourself, it's not too terribly bad. The most important thing would be safety. Just make sure that when you jack your vehicle up, you have a jack stand underneath the vehicle, and that's pretty much it. So without further ado, you know, you guys, it's the same old, I guess. You know, go out there, have fun, enjoy what you do. Catch you guys in another video. Peace.